Welcome to the Iconic Life podcast, where we gather around the virtual tables for real, soulful conversations about what it means to live a life of calling, wealth, joy, and purpose. I'm your host, Hannah Elsey. I'm the founder of Agora Wellness, creator of the Iconist movement. I call myself a transformation midwife, an overflow activator, and a movement builder of a community of visionary women who are choosing to lead and live lives they are wildly in love with. You guys, here we don't do that surface level chatter. We go deep. We talk about truth and the kind of stories that remind us that we are limitless when we are walking in our divine purpose and identity. When I say living iconically, here's what I mean by that. It's remembering who you were created to be and choosing to live from that place fully and unapologetically. It's saying yes to your divine calling, even when it's messy, and building wealth, legacy, and joy from a place of overflow. It's leading movements, raising families, and co-creating a life that feels like art with our Creator. Because living iconically means you aren't chasing a dream. You are the dream. And today we're going to dive into that together. Welcome to the table. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, Table of Icons. Back for the second day in this week at the table, doing some beautiful wealth conversations with you guys this week. Again, prepping for my class on Friday. And I think this is a really important conversation that we have, okay? For so many reasons, but particularly as women, we need to be more on top, or I should say more sovereign, maybe more intentional and focused about our wealth and our finances. Unfortunately, I see a lot of women, and I definitely have done this myself in the past, is where we have given off our power, our autonomy, our sovereignty, and our wealth growth and creation to others in our lives, either by letting our partners, our husbands take care of it, or just not looking at our own because maybe it scares us, maybe it doesn't make us feel good. I've done all of these things, so I'm speaking from experience. But there's so much power in actually being intentional about something, sitting in the discomfort, allowing it, getting curious around it, and then taking ownership and your power back by addressing it. And that is where I want to invite each of you. So today, I want to talk to you about something that I've been thinking a lot about lately, and it's part of the many reasons why I'm so passionate about this and what I am trying to teach and share about. And it's about the gap, right? This space between where so many of us are in right now, our actuality, our day-to-day, and where we want to be, desire to be, dream to be, our goals are when it comes to our financial wealth. And I guess that also includes our holistic wealth, but I think in this in particular, I'm talking about our financial wealth, because I do believe that once we get the financial aspect of it resourced, we tend to be able to move quicker on the other holistic aspects of our wealth and wellness in whole. And the thing about the gap is not that I'm doing it wrong, not that you're doing it wrong. It's that the playbook, the instruction manual that we were handed, the instructions we received through our exposures, through observation while growing up, or learning from our family of origin, or the society around us, it doesn't work anymore in this day and age. Our parents, or maybe your grandparents, our grandparents, they were told, go to school, get good grades, go to college, get a good job, work for 30, 40 years for often the same employer, save your money in the bank, get a pension, and retire comfortably, right? And then enjoy your golden years, right? And for them, in their economy, in that day and age, that worked oftentimes. The generations before us were sometimes able, through diligence, stewardship, and hard work, they were able to build and provide comfortably for a family and a secure and a comfortable retirement for them and their partner. But we are not in that economy anymore. We haven't been for a while, but it's becoming more and more clear every day. I mean, you guys, the cost of everything has skyrocketed. Housing, education, healthcare, groceries, oh my gosh, groceries, utilities, it's all gone up. Since 2000, the year 2000, the US dollar has lost over 40% of its spending power. That was a staggering realization for me, but I felt it, I knew it. But our wages, our income, it really hasn't moved barely. And our safe savings account, I say that in air quotes, safe, that, our grandparents, our parents swore by, it's paying us what? Less than 0.5% interest? You get pennies on, right? Meanwhile, inflation is eating away at our money at 3, 4, sometimes 5% or more a year. You guys, the middle class is rapidly disappearing in today's financial settings. And I don't know about you, but that does concern me. And the cost of a college education is oftentimes prohibitive, and it no longer secures a well-paying position that is able to provide for a secure, happy, comfortable, let alone wealthy life. So we're working harder than ever, we're doing everything right, and yet still feeling like we're falling behind. And honestly, it's because we are. Not because we're failing at it, because we're doing something wrong, well, kind of wrong, but because the old rules don't apply to the new game, to the new era of money and wealth creation. And I see this gap with so many women that I talk to. Intelligent, capable, hardworking, self-disciplined, self-motivated women who are grinding every single day. Side jobs, side hustles, in regular careers, and yet still don't feel financially secure or are far from it. They still feel like they don't have options. They still feel like they just can't even get a breath, who are barely making it from one paycheck to the next and praying to God that no emergencies happen. You guys, this was me. I have been this in different times of my life. And I think what breaks my heart as I look at how I walked for many years, and I look at so many women and men, but women around me, is that so many of us, and I was one of this right before, we think that the answer is just to work harder, to get a second job, like a side hustle, like I said, right? Become an entrepreneur, become a network marketer, right? Or to get a higher degree, right? To hustle more, to sacrifice more. And guys, to sacrifice what is truly, truly the most precious is our time and our focus. And you guys, that is not it. The answer is actually lying in learning a new way to build wealth, not sticking in the old, a way that actually keeps up with the world that we're living in right now, that is changing before our very eyes. Not attempting to utilize archaic systems or pathways from generations previously and expecting to get successful results, right? Having lived this experience myself, like I shared, having watched some of my young adult children who are struggling to get out of this murky system because we really didn't understand it in time to steer them better. Yes, that is why I started exploring modern wealth building. Things like crypto, gold, silver, precious metals investing, strategies like triple compounding. Not because I wanted to abandon everything traditional, right? Okay, I still have a 401k, those kind of things, but I have to throw that all out the window. But because I wanted tools that actually work for my success and my family's success in 2026 and beyond, far beyond. And what I've learned is that wealth building doesn't have to take 40 plus years. And honestly, none of us knows if you're even going to have 40 years to build, right? I know for me, with my first husband, CJ, that definitely wasn't the case. But you guys, wealth building, it doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be overwhelming even. And it definitely doesn't require us to have a finance degree or to be some kind of investing genius or a hedge fund manager or an investment banker, right, to create like real wealth. It does, however, require you to be willing to learn something new, to question our old beliefs and systems, to be brave, to be curious, to be courageous, and to give yourself permission to build wealth in a way that actually makes sense for the life that you're living right now and the life and the future you desire to live and create. And for your future generations even. Because I am definitely thinking generationally when I'm not here, what I want to leave for my family, for my kids, for my grandkids, for my great-grandkids. I am building a legacy to leave. And that is what this week is about, my loves. And that's what Friday's master class is going to be about and introducing, right? And to be very, very clear, I am not here to tell you to throw away your savings account, quit your job, sell all your 401ks, go all in on some risky scheme. I'm simply here to show you that there is a bridge across that gap. And it starts with understanding what is actually available to you. All right. I want to hear from you guys. Drop me a quick voice note or a comment and tell me, what is one money belief that you grew up with that you are starting to question? Think about that. Answer it honestly. Tag me in your response. For me, it was save everything in the bank and your 401k and you're going to be fine in your later years, and get an advanced degree and a better job, and that will do the trick for wealth and security. That was drilled into me by well-meaning loved ones, okay? And I did it for years before I realized, wait, this isn't actually building wealth. It's just sitting here losing value, and I'm not creating the wealth that I desire and envision for me and my family. If I stayed the way I was, you guys, I was simply losing money slowly every year. And with inflation, the way it has been in these last decades, our lifestyle was quickly being affected and was changing because my money didn't go as far as it had previously. And it was really, really getting painful. And I was not okay with that. Also, I have massive dreams and goals and a massive calling on my life, which I've shared with a lot of you, and it requires big resources. So I am doing the work to create vast wealth in order to fund the life of my desires for me and my family and my life's work and the impact that I am here to bring. All right, what about you? What are you unlearning? Drop it below. I'm going to be back in later with a quick poll for you guys as well in the comments or in the Telegram channel. But I really want to hear your voices or your comments on this one, okay? All right, talk soon, loves. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me today for another conversation inside the Iconic Life podcast. Remember, every choice you make leaves a mark. So make them wisely. Your most iconic life isn't out there waiting in the somewhere for you. It's the one you are choosing and creating right now. So keep choosing with intention. Keep choosing truth. Keep choosing joy. And if today's conversation stirred something in you, please share this episode with your friends. Leave us a review and help us spread this movement of women and men who are living, leading, and loving iconically. I'll see you back here next time.